What is going on, 5'9 gamers? My name is Joe Wags, and today I will be your host for your favorite podcast, the Dokkan Battle Podcast. Our podcast is presented to you by 5'9 Gaming. 5'9 is your source for all things gaming, anime, and entertainment related. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things 5'9. Today's episode is number 95. Freezer was cooler and cooler was Freezer. So we've got a lot to talk about. Very excited. We have some confirmation on Worldwide Download Celebration. It's not very entertaining just to hear me talk the whole time. So I've got some amazing guests with me today. First up, we've got the man who likes to stream during the podcast. Minato, how are you doing today?
I'm going to argue you are very entertaining, Joe. Very underrated Dokkan. Check out Joe on YouTube.com. Wait, it's Joe Wags on YouTube.com, I guess.
Yes.
But we're going to have to talk about that.
I appreciate the little plug there. I mean, Minato, maybe what we'll do next week is you can stream my channel for me during the podcast and then promote that way.
True.
That's the trick right there, right?
It's a great idea. Just give me your YouTube information, and I totally won't mess with that things ever.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds 100%
good. Access.
Well, next up, we've got the Master of Slime, but maybe future Master of the Tower of Fantasy. Ice Cold Joker, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I don't know about Master of Tower of Fantasy. They have quite a built-in fan base now with their own dedicated people, so I might just play it on the side for funsies, but I'm doing okay today.
Yeah, I just saw you streaming it the other day. It looked like you're having fun with it. I've actually been playing it myself a little bit. I don't know. I'm a Genshin hardcore, so I know it's going to have to be really good to take me away from Genshin. We'll see. Pretty interesting game, though. A lot of people are playing it. Last but not least, we've got the SBR King himself, the Mass Ningen. I think he loves Raditz so much he pulled him to 90%. How are you doing today?
Hey, whoa, 79%. Let's
79. Oh, I thought you had him to 90.
Biggest Raditz fan. Let's go. Biggest global Raditz fan. That's what I'll say.
Yeah,
that's right.
So, how's it going, everybody? Excited to be back. I as always got really lucky on the banners that I don't care about. So yes, I do have Raditz with dupes, but hey, I've still got plenty of stones ready for worldwide, and I'm very excited. So.
Now, Ningen's claiming he was really lucky, but he doesn't want everyone to know he did like 2K stones off camera to actually get those Raditz dupes, right?
Yeah.
It's the hidden secret. He just doesn't want everyone to know. But anyways, let's hop right into our show today. We're going to start off with Global. And the first thing is we got a super exciting early EZA for Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Who knows when JP will get him? Global's probably going to have him for like a year before JP gets him, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Wait, JP's getting them in like a few days. So anyways,
3 days, I think.
3 days. Yeah, they're going to get them. To me, it's fun either way. We got them. I mean, for me, like Global getting him early, even though it's like a few days, like a week earlier, JP, it's better than waiting 6 months to get him, which is like the normal turnaround, 4 to 6 months. So yeah. I'll take it. So let's start talking about this unit. I want to know, what do you guys think of him? Is he overrated, underrated? Is he good? Is he not good? There's a lot of like kind of mixed communication about this guy. So Ningen, let's start with you on this one. What do you think of this Full Power Goku?
I think he's really good. I think he's being massively underrated. I don't think he's like, the best EZA TUR or anything like that, but I think he's really, really good. I did a run the other day just to, show off how good he could be. I did a challenge run where I beat Red Zone Broly with a double Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku team. So Full Power and Super Tech using his team leads. And I think he's just super underrated. He fits nicely on the team that's been powered up by the anniversary with the actual EZAs for the LR Super Saiyan 4s. I just think he's really good. I think he's being massively underrated. After supering, he's really good. People overestimate like how much stats he loses if you start the turn on low health. Obviously, he does have lowered stats, but it's not that bad, especially after supering as well. And I feel like for his build, you just go for additional. If he double supers, then his defense is looking pretty damn good. So, yeah, overall, I really like him. I like the fact they EZA'd him early enough that I want to use him on my teams, but he doesn't have a super outdated, lame-looking super attack because the super attack still looks cool. So, yeah, I really like him.
All right. Joker, what are your thoughts on this unit?
Yeah, I'd have to agree that I see a lot more hate for him than I see good things, but I have not had really any issues with him. I cleared Broly for the first time last night, and he was on main rotation the entire time once we hit AGL Broly. So, I mean, he was able to tank, not super well, but I put him in slot 1 versus normal attacks, and he took like 78k, but it's better than taking like 150 to whatever other units can take. And then after he supers, he's taken about, I'd say about 30k. And if he double supers, then it's double digits. So I think he does really well. I was able to actually get the scouter effect as well during that run, so I knew where to put him. So he has a lot of viability in a lot of content, and I guess the only thing that would be really a detriment to him is his extra super attack effect of massively lowering defense is pretty meh nowadays, but at least he gets defense on a super attack.
Yeah, for sure. So I really like this unit. I think people were trashing on him right away too early. And I think what it was people were just really caught up with the scouter, that they thought it was too hard to get off with him or that you couldn't get off. And because they didn't think you could get the scouter off and that he's a bad unit. If they release the same unit without the scouter, like, he would be good. I think of the scouter as just a nice bonus that sometimes if you get it and it's good. And I think people are too much, they're too geared into looking at this guy like you got to run him on the Year 7 Super Saiyan 4 team. And there aren't a lot of good full power units that you can activate it with. But if you run him on LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the Goku Family 180 team, there's actually some really good premium options there where you can get the scouter, including, say, a floating version Z Goku or Kaioken Goku. So there are some good full power units. I think Namek Goku counts on that as well. So there are units that can get it. And I think in the future, when we look towards future EZAs, I know Ningen, you talk about this with Dragon Ball Heroes. What if we got ultra full power Super Saiyan 4, or like the Limit Breakers, right? The Limit Breakers could be full power. There could be a Limit Breaker Vegito. So there's definitely things in the future where you can activate it. But what I noticed with him, he was doing, like, on his best turns, like 8 mil attack stats, 300 plus K start to turn defense, and he gets that little 30% defense raise. Yeah, his defense isn't going to be tanking like Omega super attacks, but how many units can tank Omega super attacks, right? Like, to me, 300k start to turn defense, kind of like what Joker was talking about. Like, if you can at least tank and get through the normals in red zone, like, that's good enough. And then he has that dodge counter in his back pocket, like all the Super Saiyan 4s do. Not something you can count on, but it's something that can happen. Minato, from the JP side, kind of looking at videos, I know you haven't used them yet. What are your thoughts on this unit?
Well, I mean, again, I agree with what everyone else said. I think he's being underrated by the community just a tad bit, right? He's not anything like, crazy. He's not like, like a meta pushing easy or anything like that, but he still is pretty good. I found him to be like on a comparable level to the LR Super Saiyan 4s. Now, I would say that they're probably better than him, right? But he can be on their like wavelength in terms of how he performs and kind of how his kit is, right? Which is, I think, is the only disappointing thing. I think that I think that the Super Saiyan 4 team could have really liked a slot 1 unit. But besides that, he still is very strong. I also would say on JP, obviously we're going to get him in a few days, right? He will have a 200% leader skill on JP that's not on global. So my perception of him may be even better than what, people on global are thinking or seeing of him right now because of those extra stats.
Yeah, exactly. He looks good enough on global, and he's only on a 170 team on global. So, yeah, he's... Also, you mentioned the full power partners, especially if you're running a Goku family team. STR, Goku, and Gohan are on full power. So
yes,
super good combo.
If only it's so weird that he's only Super Saiyan 4 in there, but eventually maybe Heroes will give us some, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the one criticism that I've heard of this guy that I kind of do agree with is that they could have waited on his EZA because Super Saiyan 4s don't really need it right now. Like, that Super Saiyan 4 team is just flooded. Like, I'm struggling to even find room for Tech Gogeta, and he's amazing. And you still have the Int Gogeta, who's pretty good. There's just so many Super Saiyan 4s now. It's kind of crazy. So there is that argument that his EZA really wasn't needed, and I can kind of see that, and it would be better to get it a little bit later. Ningen, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say he has that benefit of Saiyan Raw, so like rather than getting it, I don't want to get into a huge like debate about which one's better, but if in terms of like the Super Saiyan 4's team, I quite like using him over like bringing.
I agree with that for sure.
Saiyan Raw obviously makes the anniversary LRs go like crazy hard, right? A 25% attack and 10% defense at level 10.
And even if you don't run him on the GT team with Saiyan Roar, like he's got prepared for battle and shocking speed.
Yep.
So he's got 2 major key links.
The superior link, Saiyan lineage, don't forget.
And Saiyan
that's a good link.
So he's got a bunch of keys. So even if as a floater, he's still going to link up with most of the game that you're going to run him with.
He gives himself 3 key from having a full super class rotation. So
so even if you just float him, yeah, exactly. Very good.
Yeah, he is very, very good. So I definitely like him. I think getting him now or later could have been good because he is good now. He does fit on his teams. Yeah, he's a really good unit. I actually used him in red zone myself and blew through it just fine. I think I did it. I ran him through Bojack actually and got through Bojack just fine with him. So he's definitely a good unit. So next up, we're going to talk about the real best unit, Raditz, who we just got on Global. This man is a beast. So Joker, I'm going to start with you. First off, did you summon? And if you did, how did your summons go?
So I did the ticket pack and I did the discounts only, and I pulled Nappa out of the tickets, which is pretty good, and then I pulled another Nappa and then a Trunks in the discounts, and then I said, yeah, we're done here.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's it. You got the main headline
Definitely.
unit. You got Nappa. So,
I know, yeah, I got the best unit on the banner,
Hell
guys.
yeah.
Twice.
So Ningen, what did you get with your 2K stones that you put in?
All right. Well, it wasn't 2K. I'm not crazy. Okay. I came out pretty well. I've still got. Let me look. How many have I got right now? I've still got 1,124 stones. So I'm looking good, baby, for worldwide. So I bought the ticket pack. Got a Zeno animation. So got my boy straight away. There's that meme that I think you posted a picture of earlier. But that shocked look on my face. The reason why I look so excited, people posted, someone shared that screenshot. I was like, I can't imagine someone having this reaction to pulling Raditz. And it's like, but you don't understand. I pulled Raditz straight away with the ticket pack. So now I don't have to waste any stones on the banner if I don't want to, right? And so, you know, for the content, I was streaming. We do the discount, see what we get. And so literally first discounted step for 25 stones, I got another Raditz. Off of like a nothing animation as well.
Like a lie.
And then
I don't know.
I mean, you can literally go watch the video. I uploaded the
You
summons,
looked very happy about Raditz.
Hey, look,
in the game.
hey, I said the same
You're
thing.
like,
Look,
you're first multi. Now I can get my dupes.
right. Well, I mean, he needs them, right? But yeah, I said in the lead up to the video, like,
Am I?
as a content creator, you know, I kind of had to pull a copy of him so he can make some of these videos and whatnot. So I really wanted it to be as painless as possible, which is why I was so happy with the result. But yeah, in the end, I finished the discounts. And I decided, since I was live and I had all those stones still to go, I really wanted to get a copy of Nappa, so I decided to throw a couple of multis at it after the discount. And I did manage to I pulled another copy of Raditz and then pulled Nappa. So in total, I bought the ticket pack and used 400 stones, which to get the new Dokkan Fest at 79%, even though it is Raditz, and the side banner unit. I also got the last copy I needed to Rainbow AGL Trunks and the last copy to Rainbow Kid Gohan. So overall, for 400 stones in the ticket pack, I'm very happy with that. So I'm going into the worldwide nicely stocked up because
I hope you didn't use all your
I know
luck
that's the
on
only
Raditz.
that's the only bad part, right? But, I mean, it was Raditz, so is pulling multiple
4,000
Raditzes
stones,
good luck?
no
I don't know.
cooler.
Don't
What
even
about that?
don't even put that on me. I tell you.
Okay, fine. 5,000 stones.
Oh God.
They're gonna find a way to get an Int Vegeta on that banner.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
ruin Ningen's
No,
luck,
they'll
you know?
do the.
They're
They'll
gonna-
surprise
my
us all
goodness.
by having rather than last year when we had to wait like 10 months for him to come back or something. They'll put Majin Vegeta, the Saiyan Day unit, on the worldwide celebration, and he'll be on Cooler's banner. And so then because there's an Int Vegeta there, I'll end up getting screwed over.
Or just put the 6-year.
Yeah. Well, no, I pulled plenty of copies of him from this last banner before managing to pull either the Gods or the Super Saiyan 4s, whichever one it was he was on. But yeah, so overall, I'm very happy with how my summons went, and now I'm just saving. We got a bunch of stuff coming up with the EZAs and everything, so I'm gonna be looking at a decent amount once the worldwide starts.
Well, just so you know, Ningen, I've got that shocked face of yours saved to my phone, and it ain't going anywhere. I'm gonna have many more tweets using that face, as many as I can, because that
It's
was
his phone
quite
background,
hilarious.
Ningen.
There are.
Yeah, exactly.
There are. I
Yeah.
see memes of my face almost on a daily basis on Twitter now. So
Oh,
I'm
I
used to
love
it
the
at this
ones
point.
from the I love the ones from The Shining where you're like coming through the door. Like that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
that was the
Yeah.
because the multi in that thing is the one that I got during the podcast where I pulled the double gods. So.
Yep. Oh, yep. That's nice. All right. Well, Vilify wants everyone to know, very important message. I believe this is directed at you, Ningen, but he's very disappointed if you went deeper than tickets.
Wow.
So he just wants you to know that.
It's for the
So,
content. I was streaming.
is.
We were buzzing. I couldn't just be like, nah, sorry guys, I'm done now. So
I guess technically Vilified's got to be disappointed in all of us because technically Joker and I technically did the discount, so we went deeper than tickets.
Yep.
So I did the same as Joker. I did tickets and discounts only, and I didn't pull Raditz or Nappa, but I pulled the real best unit on the banner, AGL Trunks, ×2. So I pulled 2 AGL Trunks, which I needed both dupes. Mine was only 55%. I pulled 2 Int Super Saiyan 4 Gojitas, which I did not need. And then 1 Kid Goku, which I was actually hyped for because I don't have him rainbowed. And Kid Goku is going to get an easy at some point and be ridiculous. So, and I love Dragon Ball Saga, and I want them to get a big celebration at some point, and he's going to be a big part of that. So hopefully, that'll happen.
Don't have Kid Goku rainbowed? What?
I don't know, and I still don't. He's at 90%. Wow. I still need another
Actually,
copy.
It's the same for me, I think, at 90%.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
That's funny.
There's a few select
some
old
of those
units that,
sometimes, right? You know, they don't return them ever, right? So it's like my Rose and Vegeta Blue, they're 79%. I don't even have a rainbow, right? Yeah. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, my Type BB I think is like 90% as well.
Yeah, everyone's got 1 or 2 of those units for veterans that you think you've got all those main things rainbow, and then there's a couple out there that would surprise you. So, yeah, for sure. So next up, we've got Turles EZA. So we'll talk about that first, and then we'll maybe jump into Raditz and Nappa here. But what are your guys' thoughts on this Turles EZA coming up? Let's start with you, Ningen. You pretty excited for this guy?
Dude, I'm super excited for this guy. I was a big fan of Turles when he first came out, and obviously he was like, so it's such a great unit to get when he first came out, like a support unit runnable on all of his teams, because he supports all allies rather than like specifically extreme or a certain category or something like that. And you know, he's aged out a bit, but I really like the STR LR Turles army, who've obviously they've started to age a little bit as well, but it was hard to run them with this guy in any sort of difficult content because he became so outdated. So his EZA is going to make that rotation fun again. I mean, that LR still not great defensively for like red zone and stuff like that, but Turles, of course, when you're fighting against a superclass enemy, he gives that 40% defense as well. So obviously, any event where you're fighting a superclass enemy, like he's going to be a good support to run if he fits on the team. Gives a huge buff to everybody. They fixed the one of the main things that was wrong with his transformation, so that you'd run him on the team as a support, and then he would transform by eating the fruit, and then just become not a support unit. So I do like the fact that when he transforms now, he still gives all allies 3 key. He doesn't give them any extra attack or defense, but it just helps you with like when you're putting your team together. Because I remember back in the day when he came out building his like extreme team, you didn't have to worry if the units you were running together had great key links, because then he would just be there in slot 3 to give them extra key. And then of course if he transformed, it would ruin that. So they did fix that by giving him the extra key in his transformed state. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. Apparently he makes the movie bosses ESBR no item run a complete joke, which will be fun considering it took me months and thousands of attempts to do it before we got it on global. So
yeah, Minato, being that you've used Turles, can you give us just an overview of your experience with him? And then on his transformation, did he get the Android 21 treatment where they buffed it by 10%? I'm trying to remember.
His transformation went up from 25% chance to a 30% chance, right?
Okay.
And I think he's very good. I think, you know, one big help for him is going to be, I guess we could segue into this after if you want, but Worldwide Celebration, Cooler, right? He shares a good amount of links with them, so that's going to be a huge buff, because the one thing Turles needs is more partners, I feel like, right? I think that, you know, more Thirst for Conquest / Big Bad Boss partners would be super helpful for him. He himself is so good with the support. Like, his stats are just really, they're good stats, right? When he transforms, he stacks, he heals too. It's just that not only does he need really a new partner, because LR Turles' army isn't really the greatest right now, right? He wants to be facing superclass enemies, so hopefully we get another type of difficult content where you're against superclass enemies. Yep. And we know we're going to be getting new difficult content from, firstly, related to the superhero movie.
Yep.
So that could potentially be where he can get that passive. And then Worldwide Celebration, we know are going to get multiple different stages of difficult content. So let's hope that will really help Turles, you know, be exploding in power, right? So I think that, you know, the global player-based perception of Turles may even be better than the JP one, just because of where he releases, right?
Right, for sure. And I do want to get to worldwide. I know we had it in a different place on the timeline. I'm going to do that right after we're done with global. But I want to go to Joker next. So Joker, are you excited for this Turles? What are your thoughts coming in on this Turles EZA? Because to me, he's like the actual highlight of the Raditz celebration. I don't know about you, but
He really is, because he, like, you could. It's not a very hard case to make that Turles's effect on his teams is much greater than Raditz, even with a 200% lead.
True.
So
yeah,
I mean, you guys have talked about him enough. The only thing we haven't talked about is, the high chance of stun and the super effective against all types above 80% when he is transformed. Like, that also is going to make movie bosses ESBR part of it being the joke that Ningen mentioned, which I haven't done yet. So this will be great for me when he comes out in a couple days. But other than that, I think he's a really fantastic unit. I also don't think that he's the best EZA, but he is definitely very highly placed in the list of EZA units right now.
yeah. Go ahead, Minato.
I do want to say, I think that he potentially could be the best EZA with Cooler, because it's just that he doesn't have a partner, right? I think, for me personally, I would say Future Gohan is like the best 2R EZA, but if we got a really good Cooler where this guy could really be powered up, like STR Cooler EZA or something, and they all support each other or something, like this Turles could start looking very nasty. Because he looks nasty. It's just his team around him is not the best right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't run him up here Saiyans, right? And you can run him on the Ginyu team, but he doesn't really bring his full power out there. The Ginyu team really just want to run all the Ginyus. So
yeah,
that's the only thing. He just needs that new 200% team, hopefully, that we'll get. He has one with Ginyu, right? But we just need another one with those actual movie bosses.
Yeah, he's one of those units that suffers from like having those weird links that are unique to like a certain couple of units. So he only gets like perfect like linking partners if and when they ever bring out a new Turles. So it'd be cool to see stuff like the Great Ape Turles EZA in the future. And obviously Heroes, there's that weird like long black hair Turles form, which has got a weird name. I can't remember what it is. It's just like Legendary Evil Saiyan or some weird thing. So there's potential future buffs for him as well, which will be cool.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about the Raditz and actual Nappa units. So Ningen, I'm going to start with you because we all know you pulled them. Tell us what your experience is with these units. Do you think he's underrated, overrated, properly rated? Tell us about Raditz and Nappa.
Well, if you think that Raditz sucks and is the worst Dokkan Fest exclusive released in 2022 and worse than some of the ones that came out in 2021, then he is properly rated, because that's what he is. He's bad. When I did a 55% showcase when I got him, and like his biggest problem, my number one takeaway, I guess, from using him is whenever you see him get one of those turns where you've got a little bit of support and the enemy is below 50% HP, so he gets that extra attack buff, then he puts out the kind of attack stat that he should just put out all the time anyway. And like every other Dokkan Fest is just doing that for free. So on certain turns, he can look okay, but it's only once you've like fulfilled those specific conditions. So he really should have had a lot more power right from the jump. There's a lot of ways they could have made him better without making him super overpowered. He doesn't have to be doesn't have to be hitting crazy high attack stats if he has like, a scouter effect or damage reduction in slot 1, because he's another one of these units that they want you to put him in slot 1 against multiple enemies so that he can then get the guaranteed crits and everything. So you'd feel like the way that part of his kit has been designed, one of the first things I saw when we saw his details on paper when he came out on JP, it's like, oh, okay, well, he's supposed to be a Super Battle Road unit. Except that they then forgot the rest of the part where when you put him in slot 1, he's just not very good defensively in slot 1. So his design is just very odd. And the numbers he puts out are not impressive compared to all the units that released around him. I mean, this should have been the easiest skip for most global players. He came out on JP after the anniversary, after Ginyu, like that level of power creep, and then this guy came out. And the thing is, it sucks. I said this in all my own videos as well, but like, I like Raditz. I think he deserved a Dokkan Fest exclusive, and it should have been good. And so I'm annoyed that it wasn't. I'm not just joining the we don't like Raditz like hate train, but I would have loved a really good Raditz card. They should have given Raditz the same treatment they gave Ginyu, but there you go. So very disappointing. Nappa I really like. I'll let someone else talk about him more. But yeah, Nappa I think is good.
I want to hop in with Raditz real quick.
Yep.
I think that, the actual like template for his design could be very interesting, right? So, the HP 50% or less. I think that is supposed to be designed where he's the floating unit, right, of the team. Yeah. And then usually by the time you get to the end of the rotation, the enemy may be under that 50% threshold, which he'll be basically like a finishing off kind of thing, right? But the thing is that he doesn't do enough damage even with that, right? I think he should still do more. He doesn't have any additionals. His crits only gets multiple enemies. And, instead of pure defense, he should have had damage reduction like the tech Raditz does, right? That would just make sense. Like, what if he had just 50-60% damage reduction when facing two enemies, right? And then he gets the critical hit. Maybe he gets still extra attack there. I don't know. Make him do immense. I think that would immense and supreme makes a huge difference, guys. I'm telling you, it's such a 9-day difference sometimes. But I mean, I would say just hopping a little my experience with Nappa specifically. Nappa's good. I would say people maybe overrated him a little. The issue that people are saying that full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku has with the HP, this guy actually does have, because it's such a huge number. So every 10% HP, you lose 78% stats. So if you're like at 50% HP, you're losing what, 360, 80% of your stats, right? Yeah, 390, whatever it is, right? That's a huge number, right? Compared to Goku, who would just be losing like 40-50%, right? And that's all of his defense besides his super attack and his support.
Yep.
I think he's good for Super Battle Road, though. The active skill could be really handy. And his support passive, I think they could have just made it 40%. They didn't really have to be quirky with per superclass enemy, he gets this amount, It's like, whatever.
Plus, it's weird they made it a weird number, because against one enemy, you're obviously getting that buff once. Why didn't they just make it 10%? Because then against one enemy, he would be a 40% support unit. But
it's because it's like the number thing they wanted to go with Nappa,
the memes,
right?
But yeah, I think it's cool because I did try him out in Super Battle Road. I took him into the extreme class only one, because in the second fight you fight 5 enemies, so he was giving like 65%, 75% attack and 80% defense as his support to the entire rotation. And even then, Raditz in slot 1 with 2 dupes was getting like 2.5 million attack stat with 75% attack support on the rotation. So
it's an AoE.
Oh yeah. Oh, so good. I think it did like
it did so much
third of their HP, because he did get hit first, so it was obviously you get the guaranteed crit. But yeah, it's
well, that's why you have the dupes for the additionals, man.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, put the new defensive equips on him when they come out, and then he'll be good.
Yeah, special EX equips, give him 5,000 defense.
I can tell you this. He's the first Dokkan Fest exclusive in probably over a year that I pulled 2 dupes for to unlock the gold slot and have not wasted a gold support skill orb on him.
I mean, you could use an EX one, right? But the thing is that he is literally the worst selling Dokkan Fest on the player base ever, right? He's a third worst actual special banner, which is including like all those double rates banners, right?
Wow.
The only banners that did worse than him are the like Pepe Gal's double rates banners. Dude, I think this Pepe Gal's banner might even do better than him. Just
it should, because the units are actually ridiculous.
We're obviously going to talk about them, but both of those units are probably better than Raditz. So.
Another thing, it's a little cheeky how they brought Raditz up, but then they extended the 7th anniversary banners. So it's like people are going to buy all the sales and packs for them, right?
Yep,
like, oh, Raditz did so well, right? They knew, they were like, nah, we can't do that, bro.
Right.
So you have to make them buy these cells somehow. And I'm honestly kind of shocked they didn't actually change them and release them like this.
Yeah, right? And they didn't change the banner either. It's crazy.
No,
they literally no incentive to summon him whatsoever.
No.
I mean, I didn't expect the banner to be changed, but like, I don't know, was it guaranteed featured?
I don't the third remember. Discounted step was guaranteed.
The third discount was, yeah.
Okay.
That's where I pulled the second Nappa.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I heard one person say it wasn't. I was like, no way, it's not right.
Yeah, no, the ticket was guaranteed featured, and then it was like step 1 was 5 units, step 2 was 7 units, and then step 3 was 10. All 3 were guaranteed SSR, which is cool, because even for the 5 or 7 units, it was guaranteed SSR, and then the last one was guaranteed featured. So, yeah, very good.
Yep. Joker, I know we've talked about them a lot, but do you want to give your thoughts on Nappa and Raditz, and maybe more on Nappa since you actually got a couple of copies of them?
So yeah, I will stop blasting Raditz because I don't want to waste anyone's time on that. Nappa though can be good. Like Ningen said, if you take him into an event where there's a bunch of people, he can give a crazy amount of support to a team. If you're not using Raditz as your main DPS, then they'll actually look really, really good. But yeah, the incredible drop off of his defense, like if you take a random super attack and then you enter the turn with Nappa, like you're not looking too hot. Like you'll still do okay, but definitely not like the massive super defensive stat that you expect out of him when you see that a unit has 780% defense. So
yeah.
And then I also agree that his support passive is a little bit wonky for Saiyan Saga enemy category allies per existing super class enemy. It's like the Saiyan Saga category is not that good, right?
Yeah.
Great at Vegeta, Kaioken Goku, Nappa Vegeta, the Goku and Piccolo, I guess. Yeah, great. So you have 3 gold coin LRs, the worst Dokkan Fest in Dokkan history. And then you have Nappa to, tie it all together. So it's a totally runnable and free-to-play, easily accessible team.
Yeah, that everybody should be running, right? It's like, it's so inaccessible, it's ridiculous. And even if you have all that, it's not even the best team in the game. So like, why would you go for all those premium yellow coin LRs, to try to make this team? So obviously in the future, Saiyan Saga will get some help, which will be nice. But in my opinion, this Raditz basically should have been Ginyu, and Nappa should have been Rikumen Goldo. Now, wouldn't have to necessarily be the same kit, but they should be on that level. And if they had done that, because Raditz's bad sales isn't because it's Raditz, it's because he is built poor. He's a poorly designed unit, and his team isn't a team that people want to run. Because I was actually doing a team building guide on him actually today, and it's like, oh yeah, he leads Pure Saiyans, which is this ridiculous team, and then I'm pointing out all these rotations, but I'm like, all these units are better on these other leader skills because Raditz literally just brings the team down.
Yep.
So it's like just having him as your leader, your team is already at an L. So my best advice for team building with Raditz is like, all right, start with Raditz because you have to, and then put Turles on there and then kind of build your favorite rotations from there. But Raditz is already making the team an L, so why would you summon for him? Because there was a part of me.
Advice you should have is don't use Raditz.
Yeah.
Don't use Raditz. That's right. So, because that's something for me, even if there's a unit I'm not that hype about, I will sometimes summon just to get the leader skill so I can do showcases and stuff. Was not even tempted with this Raditz.
Oh, wow.
Because it's like, who am I even going to, there's a couple units that get 200s from it, but it's like, it wasn't that big a deal for me. But anyways, guys, anything else on the Raditz stuff before we move on? I'm going to jump into Worldwide after this. Anybody else want to add anything before we move on?
Imagine a year where GT Pan releases the same year as Raditz does.
Yeah, or Ginyu, or, any of these other, it's crazy. I know. All right, so before we hop into JP, let's go to Worldwide. So this is actually the big topic of the week. So the theme for Worldwide has actually been confirmed. So we got a tweet out from iSeriously earlier that had full power Cooler, and then it also had Super Saiyan Goku. But then we got the actual Dokkan teasers, which are confirming that it is the Cooler's Revenge movie, or the Cooler movie. So talking about this, the first thing is so we know it's probably going to be a Cooler and a Super Saiyan Goku LR. I want to know, what do you guys feel about this? Do you feel like this is going to be a good celebration? Are these good Dokkan Fest to go together? And what do you think about the units? Are they going to be good? Any thoughts about what you want them to do? So Minato, just anything you want to say about the celebration and what you're thinking about these headline units?
Very, very excited. I think that this is a really good choice for Worldwide. A lot of people like Cooler. A lot of people like... my throat is dying, apparently.
Yeah.
A lot of people like Cooler. A lot of people like the early Super Saiyan Goku design, especially me. That early Super Saiyan Goku design is so clean with the flowing white hair. It's so good. And there's a lot of potential good EZAs we can get from the celebration. So I'm overall just, excited. Those are the 3 big things I want to see. Just hype units, good kits, and then, exciting EZAs really are the top 3 things. And I'm sure they're going to kill it in every aspect. Hopefully, the kits are not bad, right? But I'm sure they're going to be very good. They're not going to mess up for Worldwide for sure.
Yeah. Joker, what do you want to give your just initial thoughts on this information?
Yeah, I think it's good. I love Cooler. Like, just give me more of his mask going up his face.
Yeah,
and I'm sold. All right. I like I've been seeing a lot of people saying like, "Oh no, another Super Saiyan Goku." It's like, okay, but yeah, tell me the last time a bad Super Saiyan Goku ever came out. Like, people crap on Namek Goku, fine, whatever, you're wrong. Heart Virus Goku, very, very good. Even when he came out, the Spirit Bomb absorbed Goku,
Yep.
you know, he's old now.
Yep.
But when he came out, he was doing, at the time, 6 million attack stats, which was almost unheard of. So he's not bad either. So the last time they fumbled a Super Saiyan Goku, I can't remember. So he'll be fine. And then Cooler, because he has less representation than a lot of people, but more than some, he's going to be good. Like, he has a lot that he can do. He has a lot of teams that he can be on. And I think that they're going to make him super cracked, because we saw what Full Power Frieza was last year. And then you put the two of them together now, and it's going to be gross. So,
yeah, Ningen, do you want to jump in on this one?
Yeah, I'm super hyped. I love Final Form Cooler. Final Form Cooler is probably my favorite, like, designed villain. He's literally one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z villains. So I'm very excited. The great part about it is that the devs seemingly love Cooler as well, because physical Final Form Cooler came out after the Super Saiyan 4s, who were an anniversary unit, and was easily comparable to them, and has aged very well even with his EZA. And then they brought out STR Cooler, who was arguably the best TUR in the game when he came out. So I have a lot of faith that they're going to do Cooler justice. LR Final Form Cooler is something I've been waiting to see for ages. I'm wondering if, because of the teaser that they played, obviously you hear his quote and then like the mask sound effect. So I'm wondering if that will be part of his like an intro animation, because we're assuming the card is going to be Final Form Cooler. Which then obviously in the future, if and when the STR Cooler gets an EZA, maybe in this celebration that feels a little bit early, but it would definitely be super hype if it did happen. Like, that rotation would actually be insane. And then, yeah, I agree with everything you said about Super Saiyan Goku. Yes, it's another Super Saiyan Goku, but obviously they're going to do him very well. I could see him not starting off as Super Saiyan Goku. And because, you know, there's the transformation scene in the movie with, like, the bird, which I'm assuming that's going to be involved somehow. So yeah, even if it's like an intro animation, like even if he's one of those units that starts off as base and transforms turn 1, because we haven't seen a lot of those lately. And then obviously that will help him fit in well with all the other Super Saiyan Gokus and stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely excited. I'm interested to see what they do throughout the entire celebration, because obviously we have confirmation about what we essentially know part 1 is going to be. But basing the entire worldwide celebration around one movie seems a little bit unlikely. So I'm interested to see what it's going to branch out into after that.
I still think it's going to be the Cooler's Revenge. No, it's Return of Cooler. Who's getting
the second? I could see the second
right?
Cooler movie.
The second Cooler movie, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they could make some really cool designs with that. And honestly, for this part 1 celebration, I kind of hope they're just standalone. Like, I know we have Namagoku last year, but they can make these Super Saiyan Gokus have different designs, be used for different teams, right? That Namagoku, right? He's on like Planet Namek Saga. Maybe he'll be on different teams like Battle of Fate. This Goku will be on like Movie Heroes, could be on, Power Revival or something, right? Different teams from that Namagoku, right? And have a different design. Maybe this Goku's way more defensive orientated, while that guy is more offensive orientated, right? I think that it'll be fine regardless, and obviously Cooler is going to be Cooler. I think Final Form would work. Just kind of put in a little extra information there from my end, right? I just feel like saying it.
No, for sure. So my feeling on the celebration, I have very similar feelings to last year, where we kind of all had expectations as to different celebrations it could be, and then it ended up being something totally different. And I ended up loving it because the celebration was from a saga that was very underrepresented in the game, Namek Saga. And I feel like Cooler needs more representation. Wicked Bloodline needs more representation. I am very hyped for this. And actually, Ningen made the exact comment I was going to make, because I'm like, y'all need to get hyped for Cooler, because the devs love Cooler. They treat Cooler really well. And the thing with STR Cooler is when he came out, he was by far like the best animations in the game. The first time you see that 360 camera spin around him, my jaw just dropped. Like, am I playing Dokkan Battle right now? Like, what am I playing right now? Dude, they're gonna the animations on this guy could be the best animations in the game. So just be prepared for that. It's going to be ridiculously hype. Now, the thing with Super Saiyan Goku because people like we had talked about, people might complain that there's too many Super Saiyan Gokus. They do a really good job of, with these units that have tons of units with the same name, they give them different categories and different roles. You know, you look at Heart Virus Goku, he's got a very different role than, say, Int Namek Goku or something like that. So I think they're going to make this guy unique in his own way and very good. Now, I've got a pretty bold prediction here, and I think they're going to use a very underused mechanic in the game that I think they need to use more often. I think these units are going to have the Int Ribrianne mechanic and the Great Saiyaman mechanic, where it's going to be a base Goku and a base Cooler, and turn one, they're just going to hop in and transform automatically. And what that would do is it would allow Super Saiyan Goku to link with other Super Saiyan Gokus turn one, and it would allow Final Form Cooler to link with other Final Form Coolers turn one. And I think that could be like either as a part of the intro animation or as just like a replacement, because it kind of in a way is an intro animation already. But to have them just pop in, and that would be so cool, because then Goku would link with base Gokus and Super Saiyan Gokus. Cooler would link with normal Coolers and Final Form Coolers. I think that would be really hype because they don't do that enough in Dokkan. Like, I think they should do that. I don't know why they haven't done that more, but I would love to see them do that. I think that would be really, really awesome.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, they haven't done one of them for ages now. So
no, I think, isn't it literally just those two units, that free to play Saiyaman and then Int Ribrianne? Is there another unit that instant transforms like that? The closest would be what? Physical Angel Gold and Frieza, but that's an active skill. I mean, something like that would be fine too. I would love that.
That would be kind of cool, actually. Yeah, if they had very different roles in both forms, but you could transform on turn one, that would be kind of cool.
I mean, if
that Cooler needs to have his beam nullification skill of swimming.
We need that in the game. So bad.
God, yes, we need that animation for sure. Because I was gonna say, if they use STR Cooler as a skeleton for this new LR Cooler, they could do that where he's just untransformed but like a ridiculous defensive support unit or something, and then he transforms and becomes an offensive god with guaranteed additionals and crits. Like, I would take it, right?
I feel like we could see, because obviously the units do often mirror each other in their design for the worldwide celebration, and I think Minato's mentioned this already, like on Twitter and stuff, but I could see both of them having some kind of super nullification, because Cooler, as we said, can have the like popping out of the key blast and loafing them one in the face, and then Goku has that thing where he first becomes Super Saiyan and just tanks that punch to the chest. So even though it kind of sucks because there's less of them in the difficult content, but Goku could have like the nullification for unarmed super attacks, and Cooler could have the key blast one, so they both have one. I think that would be cool. And the big thing for me, you said about Cooler having the best animations, I just wanted to say only the physical one out of all the Coolers, I think. Maybe the AGL one has like a really basic version, the World Tournament one, but STR Cooler, being the newest Final Form Cooler, does not do the supernova. So I'm really hoping that he has a really good like animated supernova, probably as his like 18 key. Because I see that move in Xenoverse. I can't wait to see that.
Oh, for sure.
His 12 key might be like that diving kick into Goku.
Yeah, the one that the tech
pointing
has.
him in the earth.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I want to say for global players, they're going to try to tempt you for stones one last time before worldwide. I believe we're due. Or no, we already got that STR Turles banner, didn't we? So they can't tempt us with that again. That's right. That STR Turles banner already. I was going to say there's going to be an LR STR Turles banner, but Global got that early. We got that before the anniversary. So there really is no more temptation. So yeah, save your stones, please, dear Lord. Save your stones. Summon on the friend banner. I think there might still be a few days left on it. I think that goes away on the 15th.
I think it's
so
2 days.
Get that friend banner summons in. Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about the celebration. This is probably my favorite part about these celebrations are EZAs, because it doesn't matter if you pull the new units or not. You're going to have some units in your box that are going to EZA. To me, this is what makes celebrations like the best. So Joker, I'm going to start with you. If you want to, you could do a quick summary, or you could just pick one or two, but what are you looking for EZAs? Pick either one or two that you really want, or just give us a summary of like the types of units you think are going to EZA here.
I'll pick one of the major ones that I think we want out of this, because I'm sure that everyone else has their own opinions on the other. But I would personally like to see AGL Meta Cooler get his EZA, because he was like the first of the new units to have like the good animation of super attack, so it still stands up to this day. And we honestly don't have too many Meta Coolers in this game that are actually good. Like the Battlefield Meta Cooler got his EZA and GP, and he's okay, but needs a team. So I think that, running that EZA plus the new cooler plus an EZA meta cooler would actually be pretty fire for, him healing after getting hit and just getting more attack. So I think if you can really raise his stats up and then give him a really good boost to his kit as far as whenever he gets hit, and then maybe raise his heal, give him something else in there. I don't know, maybe damage reduction, because we all love damage reduction, and plus he has so much in the movie that he does that you could really pull anything out of that. So I think that's what I'm personally looking for the most out of this.
Okay, sounds good. Minato, what are you thinking for EZAs here?
STR Namagoku, STR Cooler, this general EZAs, right? I mean, if they want to branch out to just a general movies theme, they could do like LR Gohan and Goten, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right? I think there's just tons of options they could do, and honestly, all of them that I listed, I think would be very exciting, right?
Yeah, for sure. Ningen, you want to rattle off a few?
I'm gonna be. I'm surprised Minato didn't, but I'm not ashamed enough to not do it. So I'm gonna plug Minato and I made videos the other day, a 2-part discussion. You should go check it out. They'll have come out a couple of days ago by the time the podcast goes up. But we talked about units that could EZA during the celebration. So we've listed off a couple of them already. I think that the Gohan and Icarus has got to be a shoe-in unit, right? Because when else is that unit ever going to get an EZA? It's one of the few units in the game that is directly from the Cooler movie. So I feel like there's no way that unit doesn't get an EZA in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's like because they rarely cover that Cooler movie with units. That's like the only like TUR we have, like super class TUR from that movie, right? We don't have a Goku from that movie. We don't have a Piccolo from that movie. We have Krillin. It's literally just for good guys. It's just that Icarus Gohan, and we don't have another good guy from that movie, which is very surprising, right?
And then of course we have the extreme ones. We got the old physical Cooler Armored Squadron. I could see them getting one. Who's the other?
Yeah, that free to play robot thing.
I was gonna say if we go into the Cooler, if we do go into the second Cooler movie as part of the second part, there's also those older like side banner units, the STR AOE Piccolo and the Tech Super Saiyan Vegeta. They're both from the second Cooler movie. I could see them getting in there. There's also the Tech Final Form Cooler that we did mention briefly earlier, because he's, I think, the only Final Form Cooler that has that diving kick as his like super attack animation, although obviously it's a super outdated version of it, but he's quite an old unit now. I think he...
I could easily, by that dive kick, I could easily see as an animation the 12 key.
100%, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Sick.
So yeah, definitely quite a lot that we could see. And then it depends what part 2 moves into, because if it is second Cooler movie, we've listed some. And like Minato said, they could just stick with a movies in general theme. So you've got like units like Go Bros, Bojack, who obviously would be good on the same kind of teams as Cooler. So yeah, it depends what the second part kind of branches out into. But I feel like units like that I would be very surprised if that Gohan and Icarus doesn't EZA during the celebration.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just point out a couple that just weren't mentioned at all. So free-to-play units, there is actually a tech free-to-play unit cooler that is a support unit that could be interesting. And then we have the whole meta cooler army, which I think was brought up briefly. If they decide to go more like Wicked Bloodline, there is the Final Form Frieza. So there's the AGL and the STR Final Form Frieza. I think they've got a shot. And then there is, I've heard people talk about Mecha Frieza and King Cold possibly. And then there's also Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku just being in movies. He's from a different movie, obviously, so not as likely, of course. And then STR LR Full Power Frieza, that definitely could be an option. I like the idea, though. I think Ninken brought up of Int Bojack, man. Int Bojack could be ridiculous if they gave him an EZA. Very, very hype, exciting unit. But yeah, I know I heard a lot of people talking about STR Cooler, and STR Cooler would be hype, but I definitely agree with Joker. I think I would want the AGL Metal Cooler to get it. And he definitely could EZA into like a Wicked Bloodline 180 lead, which could be really, really cool if they did that. Because right now he's already full 170 for Wicked Bloodline. So I think he could be a really cool unit as well. But other than that, I think you guys pretty much covered everything I was going to talk about. That's pretty much all the possible EZAs I can think of. Not to mention with this celebration, we're possibly going to get free-to-play units, and there's also going to be some crazy banner units, right? So let's take a minute and maybe speculate on what banner units could be and maybe what free-to-play units could be. So Minato, do you have any ideas as to what you'd want the banner units or free-to-plays to look like in this celebration?
I would say I would want the bound units to be. I would say like maybe it's hard. It could be Piccolo for Goku, maybe even a Kaioken Goku, right? We just got one recently as an LR, but this one could be like a support, defensive role. The bound unit for Cooler, like Salsa, maybe like another Frieza, like second form Frieza or something. I think that could be interesting, right? But really, there's not really too many options, I would say, if they want to make it related to the movie. Like, it'd be funny if it's just like completely unrelated. And it's like a Super Saiyan 4 Goku or something random. It's like, what? It's like, what's going on here? Or, I don't know, Turles or something weird. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Lord Slug, right?
We randomly get the Broly movie, Broly and Gogeta EZAs that Joker was wanting. We just randomly get those.
They're movie related.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. So Ningen, do you want to give your speculation on banner units or free to plays?
So yeah, it's like Minato said, unless they make it unrelated, there's not a huge amount of options. Like I feel like Cooler's side banner unit has to be Thouser, right? And then if hopefully they will EZA the old free-to-play Cooler Squadron, so the side banner unit can stay as just Thouser as the TUR, because then obviously they'll link super well together. But yeah, for Goku, it's kind of tricky, because unless they just do another Gohan and Icarus, which hopefully they're going to EZA the old ones, it seems a bit weird to just do a brand new one. Because the unit, although I guess that would ruin the unit's categories and stuff, though. I was going to say, because they could have the card actually be Gohan and Icarus, because that card is just Gohan, the other one. But then it would, because of the way Dokkan works, it then means that unit wouldn't be on like Hybrid Saiyans and Goku family and stuff. So we don't want them to do that. But the idea of it being Piccolo is hilarious to me, because then it means it's the second year in a row that not only was it a Super Saiyan Goku, but that also his banner unit was a Piccolo. So I think that would be that'd be interesting if they did that. So I don't know. I feel like for Goku's one, it's just going to be some random, like it could be like, I don't know, Gohan and Piccolo or something. I don't know. Goku's one, I think I have no idea what to expect. But Coolers, I feel like it has to be Thouser in some way, shape, or form.
Right. Joker, what are your thoughts?
So what you could do, right? Okay, stay with me. I'm
here. I'm with you.
We could get a new Krillin for the side banner for Goku. And Goku could be base form and then have a revive mechanic with Krillin on the team that would then put him into Super Saiyan. And get like a Sensu Bean effect where you recover all your HP. What about that?
Wait, why Krillin though?
I don't know. Why not?
That seems like Namek Saga rather than the Krillin wave.
Minato, stay
Gohan,
with him.
Right?
He said stay with him. Stay with him now, Minato. Just stay with him.
Gohan is the one who gave him the Sensu Bean, bro.
Yeah, I know. But Krillin's in there and he needs more representation. And shout out to Senpai D Free as well while we're at it. But because we know what happened when they did Piccolo last year on the worldwide.
I would hate if they restricted that revive.
It would be pretty bad, but it'd be hilarious. Because you asked for ideas, so I'm spitting out an idea. That's why I told you to stay with me. I didn't ask you to make logic out of this.
I was gonna say if they do that now, everybody's gonna be coming for you.
The devs are listening. They're making the changes right now. They're tweaking it.
Anyways, we know what they did with Piccolo last year, the Tech Piccolo on the worldwide, and the massive L that he was, especially compared to third form Frieza. So because there are so many limited options on the Goku side of this, it's probably just going to be a Gohan again. But and then as far as Cooler's side, I would agree with Ningen that Salza, Thouser, whatever you want to call him, is probably the most logical unit to bring with him, and he'll link relatively well. So as long as they make him a very good another support unit for Cooler, space traveling warriors or something like that, then he'll do fine, and he'll have a good spot on the team.
Yeah. One of my thoughts is I feel like there's a high chance, whether it be free to play or banner unit, that we're going to get another Piccolo, just because the more Piccolos they can bring out before Superhero, it's going to give us more fuel for like a Namekian team, which I think it's definitely going to could be a real team after we get Superhero, depending on how many Piccolos they decide to give us. So I definitely think that's a thing there. Kind of an odd one. I'll throw out kind of an odd one here. If you guys remember with the Namek celebration, they kind of like tied that into like Bardock stuff, because Bardock has all these ties with Frieza, Wicked Bloodline, in that movie. What if they EZA'd like the Super Strike Chilled? Like, I feel like that could maybe be something that happens around this time. I mean, you never know. Or if you want a really oddball one, how about standalone Icarus? Let's go. Standalone Icarus, just Icarus, no Gohan. You don't need it, right? So, but I think no matter what, there's going to be some really hype stuff here. So it's going to be really fun, really excited. Does anybody want to just say anything else about Worldwide before we move on to JP?
All I will say is for people who think it's a weird choice for a theme, obviously Dokkan drops the ball sometimes when it comes to like individual unit designs and like some EZAs and stuff like that. But if they've picked the theme for the Worldwide celebration, which is like the second biggest celebration of the year, it's probably going to be something that is going to bring enough stuff with it. Like, they won't have just pulled a name of a movie out of a hat and gone, oh, well, I guess we'll have to do this and come up with as much stuff as we can. Like, if they've picked that to be the Worldwide Download Celebration theme, then obviously there's going to be a ton of stuff. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited for it.
Yeah, last year's Worldwide Celebration was great. It was one of the best celebrations in Dokkan history. So they have to follow it up with another massive celebration. We got, what, two... Did we get 3 major EZAs last year, or just 2 with the Goku and Frieza?
We got 2.
I would expect it.
No, we got 3, right? It was the Goku, the Frieza, and then the Bardock.
Yeah, we got LR Bardock.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So, right. Yeah. So, yeah, I would expect another LR EZA this year, probably full power Frieza, because we don't have another cooler to do it, or an LR that would really make sense. But then I would expect multiple EZAs, hopefully very good free-to-play units, lots of stones, lots of things to do. This new super hard content that's going to come. Don't be sleeping on the celebration just because you're sad that it's going to be another Super Saiyan Goku.
Yep. One thing I do want to tell people too is if you did the Dragon Ball Hero celebration last year, get ready to dust off your Cooliza, because I think he might be getting some play here. He supports Wicked Bloodline, and he actually hits pretty hard. I think he's going to be a great unit here. And Vilify wants to shout out that he thinks there's going to be a banner unit or free-to-play standalone Oolong. That's what he wants. His oddball unit, he wants a Oolong. He's going to wish for panties, and that's going to be his active skill. I don't know, something like that. He'll just be a pervert in some way. That's Oolong's deal. So, all right. Anything else on Worldwide before we move on? All right, let's move to JP. So JP right now is getting this double rates Peppy Gale's banner. Now, normally this is like an instant skip for me. Because if you remember last year, it was what, the Margarita and Kawaii, and like they're just like okay, but like I never use them, right? But dude, this Chilai and Fasha are, I'm just gonna flat out say they are busted. Like they are ridiculously good. And as good as Chilai is, when I watch stuff on Fasha, I actually think Fasha might be better. Like, it's kind of crazy. And the thing that's exciting about this is that, one, I've been wanting a standalone Chilai. Like, she's a unit I've always shouted out. Like, whenever Dokkan does those surveys, like, what's the name of a character you want? Previously it was Garlic Jr., and then after that I was like, I want Chilai. Like, give me standalone Chilai. I'm just disappointed she doesn't have big bad bosses, because Broly, Chilai, and Lemo got it, so they gotta have it, right? She's not a movie boss. She's not on big bad bosses. So I'm calling you out on that one, Dokkan, for that poor choice on that Broly, Chilai, and Lemo.
Literally,
whatever.
Lemo is the big bad boss. That's what it is.
It's gotta be Lemo. It's gotta be Lemo. Yeah. Yeah, but she's an extreme unit, just absolutely crazy. So I'm going to let you guys all talk about it. So we'll start with Minato, since you're on the JP side. Tell us about these units and what you think of them.
Very strong units. Don't summon though, but very strong units. I personally will myself be just waiting to get them later on feature and stuff like that. I don't like it's double rates banner, cool, but we have Worldwide Celebration coming up, and I'd much rather summon there. Chilai and Fasha, right? Chilai is really, really powerful defensively, which is how I like my units. Fasha she actually can hit pretty hard. I've seen like screenshots of her doing like 9-10 million attack stats. Whenever we get that Team Bardock update and the Dokkan Fest Bardock, things will look crazy for her. She's gonna pop off there for sure.
She's gonna be like the Rakumen Galdo. Yeah, she's gonna be like the Rakumen Galdo of that team, kind of like the defensive ace. Like, she's crazy.
And also one thing, Chilai is actually also an extreme class unit, right?
Yep.
So she's gonna help all these villain teams with her support, right? She has what? 3 key and 39% attack and defense support. That's really good. She just does everything. Scouter, she heals, seals, stuns. Like, what is this unit?
Or changing,
70%
like-
chance to dodge. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like this. It's like you list off everything. I've seen stuff, the Mickey DT list of units, and then just everything there is actually there, right?
Yeah, she basically, they didn't give her attack, but they gave her everything else. That's why she's so crazy. Ningen, do you want to give us your initial thoughts if you've watched videos on these Peppy Gals units?
Yeah, basically, we've kind of covered the few things I was going to say, not being a JP player. I've seen a little bit about both of them. My main thing is, obviously, just like Minato was saying, is the getting a standalone Farsha who's actually really, really good. That obviously makes me look forward to when they go ahead and give the free-to-play Bardock team, just the Bardock team in general, I guess, the category, the boost that they gave with Captain Ginyu, have a new Dokkan Fest Bardock, probably like the actual original movie, like Bardock. He can then come out with a side banner unit that's like Tora and Shugesh or something. We've already got this new Farsha, and then that team can start looking really, really good. So as someone who's a big fan of Bardock, it's nice to see this coming out as a standalone unit. And yeah, Chilai seems pretty crazy as well. Another one of those units that, as long as you can run her on that team, she's probably going to be worth bringing along for most things, especially Super Battle Road, because of all of those effects, like Minato mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a shame, obviously, that they're using them as like a bait banner right before the download celebration, because as everybody else already said, you shouldn't summon, but they are really, really good. So hopefully we just get them in the future when they get added into the general pool. And they're both better than Raditz. So there you go.
Oh, for sure. Joker, do you want to give some thoughts on these units?
Yeah, I think the only thing they didn't give Chilai was damage reduction, but honestly, she doesn't need it because she
Not with the
does way
dodge,
too much.
yeah.
She has literally every single niche kind of thing that a unit could do in her kit, which then leads me to the assumption that maybe she could take over that spot of Tech Khalifa used to occupy, where just bring her anywhere. I mean,
or Tech
she
God
does
Goku.
way too much, or God Goku. You can put her on any team, and she won't. She's not meant to hit hard, so it's fine. She has no attack, but she can do just about everything else in the game that you want a unit to do in one unit. So that is exciting. Finally getting, more Broly movie stuff that's not Gogeta. Where's my full power Broly? But, moving on.
You don't like Gogeta? Oh my goodness, you're crazy. That's kidding. We need full power Broly.
But Fasha, I think, is a good lead-in. So imagine if, Saiyan Day 2023, they finally give us the final rainbow copy of Team Bardock, and they EZA him, and they
should EZA him at 90% and not give us the dupe.
God.
Would that not be hilarious?
I mean, that could end up happening at this rate. I feel like they are just going to end up having to do both of those things at the same time. They're going to have to give out the last copy and EZA them at the same time, because just giving out the last copy is not good enough. Even Rainbow, that unit is terrible now. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but he, Team Bardock's a support, right? So you put a support, and then with Fasha, and then you EZA AGL Bardock in the same celebration, and you've got probably a banner, we were talking about, banner unit, Shugesh, Tora.
Yep.
And then, and they
Fasha
EZA the free-to-play. Well, no,
the Great Apes, the summonable Great Ape versions all need EZA still as well, so... Yeah, that team has a lot of potential future buffs.
So, Team Bardock could get very nasty and very niche, just like what they did with Ginyu. Because it would fit the theme still, and it would make it good, finally.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. So one thing I did really want to point out is Chilai really enables Broly, Chilai, and Lemo, because she links well with them. She orb changes. And remember, if you get, this is maybe a forgotten mechanic, but Broly, Chilai, and Lemo, you get 7 orbs, they 100% dodge. So if you're doing Super Battle Road or a red zone where you can dodge, you can run them on rotation. She's going to dodge herself and then enable them to 100% dodge. That's kind of like a cheat code for some stuff. You are playing a little gambling game because you still could not get the 7 orbs. But I think that's really cool that it actually gives me a reason to want to use Broly, Chilai, and Lemo again, because they're kind of a forgotten unit for me that I just never used. And I really like their kit, and they're a cool unit. So I just like that she enables them, which is very, very cool. So next up, we've got the Peppy Gal EZA. So we have STR Chi-Chi. We've got the Physical Kid Chi-Chi. We've got Tech Bra. We have Int Ribrian. So we'll start with Minato again. Have you used any of these, or what are your thoughts on some of these EZAs?
I played around with some of these, in like some legendary event just for a little bit, just so I could really test them out. I haven't actually like done showcases on them yet, but I think that they all seem pretty solid at the very least. I would say the best one out of the bunch is probably either Ribrianne or the Bra. Though I feel like they could have definitely made them better. They're still good. I just think that they could have had a little more oomph to them, especially maybe on the defensive end, right? I think a big issue with a lot of these units releasing recently is that they are like they're very solid offensively, but then they're not as good as you would like defensively in the most typical content, right? So hopefully they like switch that around for some units. Like Chila is a perfect, unit I would love. I mean, pure defensive, support unit. And then she lets the other units, enable them to do more damage, right? Especially like someone like Brawl, right? They feel like they kind of like try to spread her thin with doing multiple things. Same thing with Chi-Chi, right? Where they're both like support units, but they give them a lot of offensive capabilities rather than focusing on defense, which I think I would prefer if they just focus purely on defense and who cares about their offense, their supports, right? In my opinion, anyways.
Yeah, for sure. Ningen, you have any opinions on these? I don't know if you watched videos on them or not.
Information. I've seen some crazy screenshots of like the Ribrienne at like ridiculously high defensive stats and stuff like that. The Buller one definitely looks interesting to me. I'm gonna say Buller because I'm on global and that's the dub name. So
no, you're good. You're good.
But, yeah, I think she looks pretty decent. It'd be interesting to see how good she is on the like GT Heroes team, especially for people that are still struggling with Red Zone Broly, because obviously she gets a lot of dodge. So I really want to see how good she's going to be when she actually can't get the dodge off, because her EZA does seem quite interesting to me. We were talking about it briefly earlier, but obviously she doesn't get a lot of extra defense. So I'd be kind of interested to see how she does in there. But she was a unit that I thought could definitely needed an EZA for some of the teams. I feel like when she first came out in most events that couldn't disable dodge, she was one of those like must-run support units because she gives so much extra attack to all allies. And then you only need to have one other Peppy Gals ally on the team, and you have a 70% chance to dodge as long as it's not cancelled out in that event. So that is obviously a very good effect. So I think she's probably the one that I'm looking forward to the most, because obviously she'll fit on some good teams, like things like Vegeta Family with the new Trunks of Vegeta and stuff like that. Because some of the other units I feel like are on teams that, like the Chi-Chi, for example, like, are you really running like Youth or Dragon Ball Saga? I know she's on Bond of Parent and Child, but like, who are you running her on that team with? And then even like the adult Chi-Chi, obviously she's kind of designed to be on the Peppy Gals team. But other than that, you're probably not going to use her on a ton of other teams. So Buller's definitely the one that seems the most interesting to me.
Yeah, Joker, what are your thoughts on these units?
Yeah, I was going to probably cover that if Ningen didn't mention it. But yeah, the Chi-Chi is just kind of like she looks good, but then you realize like what she needs to work. And like you need a youth Goku, of which, I mean, Kid Goku, yeah, cool. What else you got? So what team are you running this Chi-Chi at full power on? And then the adult Chi-Chi like is a really good defensive support, but it's really unfortunate that GT Pan is not on Peppy Gals, so you're not going to get that extra 70% defensive support from Chi-Chi on that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty unfortunate. But then like Bulla Bra, she's looking the best out of them, and then Ribrienne can do dumb things. It's just that we need probably more Universe Survival Saga girls to really do that, because
I think, sorry to interrupt, I think a new Peppy Gals leader would really benefit Ribrianne too, like a 200%, right?
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Yeah, because we got Videl, who is aged out now.
Yeah.
And then Ribrianne, I think, is the only two major Peppy Gal leaders.
I think
now. But then
Peppy Gals is one of those teams that like always had individual units that were really good, and so then when they got like a proper leader, that team was actually surprisingly effective. So I agree with whoever it was that mentioned it. Like Peppy Gals getting a 200% lead, that team would unironically be really good thanks to like some of these units, and especially like the Universe 6 girls as well. So If they just did like a full-on 200%
made,
Peppy Gals team that covered almost all of the Peppy Gals units somehow, whichever way they would combine, like for the extra 30%, that would be awesome.
They should have made Rubriad at least 170%. They made her 150% leader, and it's like, who cares, man? Make her 170%. Give us at least a temporary new lead, right? Because whenever, like, the only other unit I could see, like, getting a Dokkan Fest Peppy Gals is, like, I'm trying to think, well, there's 2 units. I think Android 18, and then Bulma, and then maybe 21 could lead Peppy Gals, but I wouldn't see 21 be a Peppy Gals leader, right?
Same.
She'd be like Android or something. I don't know. Yeah. I think that, you know, like Bulma or 18 would be a good option for like a Peppy Gal Dokkan Fest.
Exactly. If we can have a Bulla card and she barely does anything in GT, why do we not have a proper standalone Bulma card? So she would be the perfect like Peppy Gal's leader. But
I would throw out maybe a Dokkan Fest launch. I mean, with some of the characters, I could see there being maybe a Dokkan Fest launch, but because I think her banner card is also Peppy Gals, isn't it? For leader skill, I think it's like a 120 or something like that. But
I think so, right? But she'd be a good option at Dokkan Fest launch. Yeah. I just feel like Bulma, obviously, Bulma deserves a Dokkan Fest, right? And I think that she's just
Bulma
one of the
for
more iconic characters, right, compared to launch.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I think launch, she's another one of the instant transform units, so maybe that is the other one I'm trying to think of. Yeah, she does that too. She sneezes, The big flaw I'm going to point out with the STR adult Chi-Chi is that she has Dragon Ball Saga links, but is not on Dragon Ball Saga. So I hate how they exclude, I think it's the 23rd World Tournament. They exclude it from Dragon Ball Saga. So she's got like Incredible Adventure, Guidance, the Dragon Balls, or whatever those links are, but she's not on the Dragon Ball Saga team. So I really don't like that.
It's like a global translation for it, right? But it's still dumb that
it's Boyhood
the GP
Saga,
version,
right?
It's Boyhood Saga, right?
Yeah.
So it's Goku when he's a kid, but like, where does those 23rd World Tournament units go? Right? It's just bad.
They just need to make a new 200% lead that has a different category name that is actually all of that. That's what they need to do.
And imagine they call it DB Saga. Like, what is Global going to do?
Super Dragon Ball Saga.
DB Saga Plus.
We've adjusted
I imagine if they were going to do that, they could just rename the original one, I guess. But that'd be weird.
I was just going to say...
They can name it like Incredible Adventure or something, right? And then it actually includes all those characters.
No, I got it. They're actually going to EZA categories. So the category... DB Saga is going to get an EZA and it's going to upgrade to the 23rd World Tournament. That would just be hilarious. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. Yeah, I know. It just came to my mind and it made me giggle a little bit. So anyways, does anybody else have anything to add before we wrap up our show for today? All right. Well, that is going to do it for our show today. This has been episode 95 of the Dokkan Battle Podcast. I would like to thank our amazing guests today, Minato, Ice Cold Joker, The Masked Ningen. Thanks to Vilify for helping us out behind the scenes. My name is Joe Eggs. It's been an honor hosting for you all today. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you all on the next one. See ya.